Dolly, che stai facendo?
美味しい。
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, soft touch your hand in mine, gets me every time. Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive. summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love. Beneath an endless night, the world spins around. You're there, ease my mind. Like stars that never die, you and I will shine during the darkest time. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love. As the leaves change color, I dive into you. When summer's fading, there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of the winter sun. Maybe this is the season of love. Maybe this is the season of love. Like waves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, soft touch your hand in mine. Gets me every time. Lost in the city